Southeast Missouri State head coach Tom Matukewicz, the Redhawks topped UT Martin 21-16 last week. They will take on Tennessee State. That's in Nashville on Sunday. So, Coach, before we get to some questions, just some general thoughts on your team.
Yeah, just so happy to get a road win, and there's a tremendous amount of respect for UT Martin, Coach Simpson, and his staff, and so just feel like you did something. You know, you beat UT Martin on the road, and feel great about that. You know, it's been a long grind. We actually had a day off for Easter Sunday, and you know, I think it was the first day off in 12 weeks, and so I certainly felt better. I think our team's feeling better, and when you look at the game, could have gone either way, and we got to continue to find ways to play smarter in situations, but extremely impressed with our defense and the situations that they were continually put in, you know, when they kept responding and did a nice job. They, you know, I think we held them 2.5 a rush, and they played really good on the red zone. Got some pressure, certainly. Bacchus did a great job, and you know, UT Martin, you know, they can throw it. They have some really good players. Donnell Williams and Colton Dow are as good as anybody in the league. I think offensively, you know, it was good to see Gino continue to put a good game together. He is growing and continue to get better in the passing game and those type of things. And he ran the ball effectively. Got Johnny King going a little bit more. He had a couple more receptions than normal, and that was great to see. Turned it over a couple times that were unforced. Not that UT Martin didn't play well, but a couple of those that, you know, they were more about bad offense and good defense. So we got to clean that up. And then kicking game, you know, we put a ball on the ground. We create a takeaway, but probably the biggest deal is Zach Haynes, our punter. You know, did a tremendous job all game long, but a couple he put down inside the 10 really made the difference, allowed us to play some two-man stuff at the end of the game and those type of things, because we had good field position. So now we're just, you know, looking to finish it out, going to the TSU team, going to Nashville. It'll be our longest trip where we're doing the same day, and so that again is a challenge. To be able to get on a bus and play in the same day. So we got to do a great job with that. TSU's doing a great job with the turnover margin, man. They are +4, and you're going to be in every game if you don't turn it over and create some turnovers. And so they have been doing that, been able to run the ball. You know, I know Coach Rod's probably doing the defense, and they're playing at a high level, and they've been in every football game. It's going to come down to that end again, and so we got to continue to fight for those margins. I'll go ahead, and I probably talked too much already, so give it up for questions there.
That's perfect, Coach. Tom's got some. Go ahead, Tom.
Coach, with Tennessee State, so many times people focus on quarterbacks or sacks on the defensive side, but what Tennessee State's really good at are special teams and punting. And so from the fan standpoint, this doesn't sound like a sexy matchup when you talk about special teams and punting, but from your player standpoint, are they mature enough? Do they buy into the importance of, hey, they're really good at kickoff returns and they're really good in the punt game? Do your players buy into that?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously we're the lead on that. And every single week it starts with respect your opponent and how hard it is to win a game. And like today at 2:30, I have a team meeting, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Of course, the turnover margin, they run the ball, but their special teams is ranked 1 or 2 in the whole league. And so that's factual, and our players know how much we value special teams. And so it'll be a huge challenge for this group. And I think our players are bought in. I think they won't have a problem getting ready to do everything we can to stop the Tigers.
Yeah, field position ends up winning games or losing games. And obviously kickoff return, punt return, punting, all that plays a role in it. I don't need to tell you this stat, but you played 24 guys on Saturday that are first or second year in their college careers of getting on the field. You started 3 true freshmen on Saturday. I don't know how you still have brown hair, but how is that? What you did this spring as far as playing the number of young people? Uh, how is that going to play a role come August 1st in training camp next year?
Well, I mean, I'm not I can't see it in the future, so I'm not exactly sure how to play. Um, I'm excited about our recruiting. Obviously, won the last 2 games and playing with a bunch of freshmen that don't necessarily look like freshmen, so that's exciting. But I do think we'll have a ton of depth and those type of things, and you're just going to have a team that's more bought in because it's hard to get bought in when you're not feel like you're contributing on game days. And so for some of those freshmen to get the kind of experience that they're getting right now, that's huge. I think a lot of teams are seeing a lot of their freshmen play for them. And so I think it's overall a highlight of the spring season for college football.
Has it been beneficial for those young players as opposed to going through 15 spring practices? Because surely you would have looked at them a little bit in the 15 spring practices, but due to injuries or whatever, they're getting thrown into real competition. So is that just expedited their progress as far as their careers?
Absolutely. And I think it's the confidence thing too, because I don't care what it is, like confidence comes from accomplishment. And, let's say I have a good practice, it's still not the game. But if you come and you prepare and you get 10 reps in a football game, you do a good job in that football game, and everything, you start to feel a lot better about yourself. And I think that's where true confidence comes from.
Now, I'm sure that you're going to decompress for a week or whatever and take a breath after Sunday. But have you already begun to have meetings with your strength and conditioning coach and your other assistant coaches and all that about how you navigate the next 4 months to prepare for August 1st?
Yeah, and it's big picture thinking. I've done a lot of just thinking about it. I've had initial conversations where we brainstormed a little bit. But one of the most critical elements to planning is feedback. And so until I sit down with my players and really hear from them, certainly can't finalize any of our plans. But it's different, and and it's just hard right now. Like a lot of our kids, see people going on spring break and people canceling out, and we've just been on this never-ending weeks out because of COVID. Like they're just kind of tired and worn out, and they want time off. But it just kind of takes what it takes to be successful, and it doesn't have to work for everybody. It just has to work for the ones that are willing to do what it takes to be successful. But there's going to be this fine line of balancing, putting work in versus, just doing to where they don't even want to show up, and you certainly want a team that's excited to show up to work out or practice or a game.
Is the next 4 months going to be different than your typical summer in a regular year? Will you be doing different things?
I know for sure we're going to focus a little more on the weight room. A normal summer, you focused a lot more on the conditioning because you had that off season in the January through until spring break to build muscle and pack weight on, all those things. And then in the summer, usually you're starting to thin them up and getting them ready for football shape. But we'll use, when the season's over till August, we're going to really get in the weight room and focus on strength. I think that had a lot to do with our injuries. It's physical science. You just hit 2 things together long enough, it breaks. The things that are more stable are the stronger things, the thicker things. And so that's what we're going to try to do with this football team.
All right. Last question for me. Have you been getting out in the sunshine, doing your sanity walks and all that?
Haven't wasted a Sunday yet, or where there's sun out. I've gotten walks, and I'm doing a little more bike riding. My knees aren't doing so good, but today I'm hitting the trail with a little sanity walk. And more than anything, I really want to make sure that I appreciate my last 6 days with this team, and not that we're going to lose the whole team, but it just changes. There's a lot of guys on my football team that I won't get to coach ever again. And so I want to make sure I enjoy those guys.
All right, that works for me. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Tom.
Coach, there's obviously this game left, but I want to ask every coach this morning, just what is one takeaway you have from being able to play and complete the spring season this year?
What's a takeaway?
Yeah, takeaway. You know, we got pushed, we played the season. Is there something you can take away, or just a comment on, you know, being able to successfully play this spring?
Well, it just says a lot about a lot of people. Like these seasons are hard to pull off. It takes not just coaches and players, but administrators. Just everybody's had to do more and sacrifice more. And you know, you see people shutting it down all the time. And so it says a lot about your character and your endurance and perseverance. And I've had I wouldn't say it's a rewarding year, but it has been just a thankful year. Like I'm thankful I'm getting to coach, and I'm thankful I have a team that needs coaching. You know, and these players need more coaching now than ever, and just dealing with all the things that they have to deal with on a monthly or daily basis. And so for me, this season, if I had to put it into one word, is just thankful.
That's a perfect way to end it. Thanks, Coach, for your time this morning and all year, and best of luck this weekend.
I appreciate you, Kyle, and all that you do also.
Thank you, Coach.